It's in the Coming Out of the Shadows month, which is a movement for undocumented youth speaking out about their experiences and being unafraid. It's like a term of empowerment of publicly saying I'm undocumented, which is a status that is very much stigmatized and told that you shouldn't tell anyone simply because of the risk of being deported and being, vulnerable to racism and xenophobic violence.
So it's not just about passing state DREAM Acts. It's also about you said it's Unafraid.
Undocumented, unafraid, unapologetic.
Today we're having a Coming Out of the Shadows rally, which is when undocumented youth are coming out publicly and sharing their story, saying they're undocumented, saying that they're not afraid anymore, they're not ashamed of their status, and they're saying it to the public, to show that they're taking back control of their lives and getting back their humanity. They're not going to be in the shadows anymore.
Why do you think it's such a stigma to be an undocumented student?
Because there's like a war on immigrants. With post 9/11, with the war on terrorism, that included war on immigrants within U.S. borders.
Well, I thought it was also for people of Hispanic, Mexican descent as well.
It's not undocumented. This movement is not a single race or it's like completely diverse. If you look at the people who've been risking deportation, who have been like undocumented activists, you'll find Mohammed, Abu Ghali, Jessica Lee.
Recently, like a local college student got arrested, and she was from South Korea originally.
What is this campaign here?
Oh, and here we are also trying to raise awareness for the New York State DREAM Act, which would allow undocumented youth who are trying to go to college to receive financial aid and be able to afford to go to college, because at the moment they're not eligible for financial aid. So when it comes to getting into college, when applying to college and paying for it, most of them can't do it because it's a lot of money. So they're forced to not go, and so we're trying to get this bill passed so that they can receive financial aid and continue their education, continue their dreams.
There's a federal DREAM Act, and then there's also the individual states. California passed the California DREAM Act this past summer, and so right now the campaign's everywhere.
So I read on your flyer that we have undocumented students in like K through 12, but then not, and then we also have it in college,
yes,
but not TAP. You don't have financial aid. Is that the situation? Like
yes,
undocumented students in CUNY? Because I went to CCNY, I remember there were so many undocumented people, but they just didn't have TAP.
Right, so there are some who can go, but they have to work 2 jobs and go to college. Some may have to take a semester off and save money and then to pay for the next semester. Some are lucky enough to get scholarships. Like me, I'm in the Macaulay Honors Program. I have a scholarship, so I'm able to go. But the reality is that most have to you have to endure so many things. So you've been working since you're 16, 17 to help your family, and you're not able to do as well as you wanted to in school, or there's other things that go into play. So many were not able to pay for school.
So it doesn't make people citizens; it just gives them financial aid.
Yes, this is just because the state cannot give. That's the federal government has power to give citizenship.
I think that these particular days, another initiative that the movement has taken is also like they have a campaign that's called Education Not Deportation, and that's to stop DREAM Act eligible youth from getting deported, and that's when they're already being processed by ICE and they're detained, etc. So they're like risking their own deportation for stopping the deportation of a fellow a community member. It's like it's a very interesting community network that I think that comparison to like Occupy movements or other privileged positions of getting arrested, those people who are getting arrested in an action, in a rally, in a protest, they usually have smiles on their faces, but for undocumented youth who are getting arrested, they're risking deportation.
So civil disobedience doesn't sound like an option. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that I'm not saying there's always choice. Agency, there's always going to be choice regardless. Okay. I'm saying that they're not, for them an arrest is not just a some sort of get in jail for 24 hours or so in a court or something. It's more like getting deported. It's something, a fear that you grow up, the community grows up, that you have the secure communities, which is like the police can now inform the ICE to tell them, oh, you get deported. So,
well, I would think just as courageous as going to jail is to come out and say, I'm undocumented.
Right.
And what do these t-shirts mean?
And these t-shirts, they say undocumented, unafraid, unapologetic. Basically saying, we're undocumented, we're not afraid of what that means anymore, and basically we're not saying sorry for it, because we believe that we came here for better reasons, and we're part of this country. We're just as American, or as other people here. We've grown up here for 10 years, 20 years.
Wow.
It's through events like these where I'm picking really selective public places like Union Square, where there's a lot of diverse people, and really kind of breaking out and about their status in public places. And so it's not just, it's about bringing out these messages and educating people about them.
We're gonna have people speaking, performing, basically from until 7 o'clock.